I was 55 years old, and obviously you begin to realize that it's more difficult to read and you have some problems, but I really didn't think anything about it, but Dixie's mother was having some eye problems, so I said, if you get examined, I'll get examined. And so we went to Hopkins, and it turned out we both had macular degeneration, which was a shock. I knew I had a problem, but I didn't know what it was, and so I began a 20-year process of decline. I began a process of going blind, and the process was devastating. First, it was just a little black spot. It was like the size of a pencil putting a lead mark on a paper, and then it kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I began to get depressed. And the big thing was 10 years ago, giving up my driver's license. That was I think, the moment of despair. I knew I had lost my independence. And I think the next big depressing moment was in my conference with the representative from the Department of the Blind Services, and they tried to convince me that I needed to have a white cane. The revelation that I was a victim of age-related macular degeneration, and I knew it was going to progressively get worse, and I knew I was going to lose my central vision unless I found a solution. I did several different experimental therapies. I had, and basically it was a failure. One of my good friends read an article about what was going on at USC Davis, sent me the article. I mean, this guy talked about the miracle of seeing. And you are skeptical because I spent a lot of money on solutions that didn't work and made some trips to see doctors that said basically there's nothing we can do for you. But I sent a copy of the article to Dr. Goldberg, who was the former head of the Wilmer Eye Institute, who called up and said, we can do that here. I was tickled to death. I can recommend it so highly because it's been painless in terms of the surgery and the recovery, except for the amount of work that you do. The therapy at first was very exhausting. It was so tiring because the muscle between the brain and the telescopic eye, had not been used with the telescopic eye. So the ability to use it meant that you had to force your brain to engage. But I'm convinced that nobody knows the potential of this telescopic eye. I'm convinced that you can take it to a level of perfection that nobody has.